It's time, it's time, it's time. It's another day under the same sun. It's another day to lean in and claim some. It's another day to be bold, brave, and unafraid. It's another chance to change direction. Move the arrow, course correction. Be an instrument, be the change and move out of the way. So if your glass is half empty, then fill it. If it's overflowing, then spill it. Over the mouths that thirst and the souls that hurt. Spill it, spill it, spill it, 'cause I need your heart. We need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing, knowing goodness from inside. We need a beautiful smile, and we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of the world. And it's time you're figuring it out. It's time, it's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. Well, you're the answer, it's perfect timing. And there ain't no use in hiding. This blinding, shining diamond you've been disguising. You're the universe in a static motion. You're the elixir, the magic potion. You're a world that cries for what's behind your eyes. So if your glass is half empty, fill it. If it's overflowing, then spill it. Over the mouths that thirst and the souls that hurt. Spill it, spill it, spill it, 'cause I need your heart. We need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing, and knowing goodness from inside. We need your beautiful smile, and we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of the world. And it's time you figure it out. It's time, it's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time to be true, to be the beautiful you, to let your soul smile through your eyes. Because you're one little light can light 10,000 more. Together we will, together we will. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. Yeah, there's a celebration in the street. Brothers and sisters finally meet. All these orphans under the same sun, same sky. There's a glow on the horizon. Shiva calling, Shakti rising. And there are so many signs, 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 signs. And we need your heart. We need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing, knowing goodness from inside. We need your beautiful smile, and we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of the world. And it's time you figured it out. It's time, it's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. Break it down. It's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. It's another day under the same sun. It's another day to lean in and claim some. It's another day to be bold, brave, and unafraid. It's another chance to change direction. Move the arrow, course correction. Be an instrument, be the change and move out of the way. So if your glass is half empty, then fill it. If it's overflowing, then spill it. Over the mouths that thirst and the souls that hurt. Spill it, spill it, spill it, 'cause I need your heart. We need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing, and knowing goodness from inside. We need a beautiful smile, and we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of the world. And it's time you figured it out. It's time, it's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. Well, you're the answer, it's perfect. perfect timing, and there ain't no use in hiding. This blinding, shining diamond you've been disguising. You're the universe in a static motion. You're the elixir, the magic potion. You're a world that cries for what's behind your eyes. So if your glass is half empty, fill it. If it's overflowing, then spill it. Over the mountain, thirst in the souls in her. Spill it, spill it, spill it, 'cause it needs your heart. We need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing, and knowing goodness from inside. We need your beautiful smile, and we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of the world. And it's time you figure it out. It's time, it's time, it's time. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time that you to be the beautiful you, to let your soul smile through your eyes. Because you're one little light can light 10,000 more. Together we will, together we will. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. Yeah, there's a celebration in the street. Brothers and sisters finally meet. All these orphans under the same sun, same sky. There's a glow on the horizon. Shiva calling, Shakti rising. And there are so many signs, 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 signs. And we need your heart. We need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing, knowing goodness from inside. We need your beautiful smile, and we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of the world. And it's time you figured it out. It's time, 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 it's time. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, break it down. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. It's another day under the same sun. It's another day to lean in and claim some. It's another day to be bold, brave, and unafraid. It's another chance to change direction. Move the arrow, course correction. Be an instrument, be the change and move out of the way. So if your glass is half empty, then fill it. If it's overflowing, then spill it. Over the mouths that thirst and the souls that hurt. Spill it, spill it, spill it, 'cause I need your heart. We need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing, and knowing goodness from inside. We need a beautiful smile, and we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of the world. And it's time you figured it out. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. Well, you're the answer, it's perfect timing, and there ain't no use in hiding. This blinding, shining diamond you've been disguising. You're the universe in a static motion. You're the elixir, the magic potion. You're a world that cries for what's behind your eyes. So if your glass is half empty, fill it. If it's overflowing, then spill it. Over the mountain, thirst in the souls in her. Spill it, spill it, spill it, 'cause it needs your heart. We need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing, and knowing goodness from inside. We need your beautiful smile, and we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of the world. And it's time you figured it out. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing, knowing goodness from inside. We need your beautiful smile, and we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of the world. And it's time you figured it out. It's time, it's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. Break it down. It's time. 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 It's another day under the same sun. It's another day to lean in and claim some. It's another day to be bold, brave, but unafraid. It's another chance to change direction. Move the arrow, course correction. Be an instrument, be the change and move out of the way. So if your glass is half empty, then fill it. If it's overflowing, then spill it. Over the mouths that thirst and the souls that hurt. Spill it, spill it, spill it, 'cause I need your heart. We need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing, and knowing goodness from inside. We need your beautiful smile, and we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of the world. And it's time you figured it out. It's time, it's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. Well, you're the answer, it's perfect timing. And there ain't no use in hiding. This blinding, shining diamond you've been disguising. You're the universe in a static motion. You're the elixir, the magic potion. For a world that cries for what's behind your eyes. So if your glass is half empty, fill it. If it's overflowing, then spill it. Over the mouths that thirst and the souls that hurt. Spill it, spill it, spill it, 'cause I need your heart. We need it open wide. We need you brilliantly beaming, glowing, and knowing goodness from inside. We need your beautiful smile, and we need it right now. 'Cause you're the light of the world, the light of the world. And it's time you figured it out. It's time, it's time. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. Be true to be the beautiful you. To let your soul smile through your eyes.
Can you please tell
Good morning. Good morning, Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. So grateful that I can be here with you today. So blessed. Thank you, Reverend Rafe, for getting a little emotional this morning. And Don for making this happen today.
Good morning, everyone. Before we get started, I'd like to ask everyone to please be very sure. Before we get started today, I'd like everyone to be sure to turn off any ringers or vibrators on your phone so that we can spend this time in concentration for this beautiful ceremony. As we get started, I would like to, people seem a bit wiggly here, so I'm going to let everyone get settled and stop talking, please. I'd like to introduce first Dr. Tracy Brown, licensed religious science practitioner at the Center for Spiritual Living in Dallas. Next, we have Rebecca Bell, licensed religious science practitioner at the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Reggie Kapp is a licensed religious science practitioner here at the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Deborah Ellis is a licensed religious science practitioner at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Eugene Holden is a licensed religious science practitioner at the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Julia Mattis is a licensed religious science practitioner at the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Reverend Jenna Wexler is an ordained minister of Centers for Spiritual Living at the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Reverend B. Amon James is an ordained minister of the National Spiritual Science Center at the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Reverend Faith Woods is an ordained minister of Centers for Spiritual Living, Centers for Spiritual Living Area 10 Regional Support Coordinator. Reverend Dr. Michelle Wadley is an ordained minister of Centers for Spiritual Living, founder and spiritual leader of Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey, and the co-founder of Planned Happiness Institute. Reverend Dr. John B. Waterhouse is an ordained minister of Centers for Spiritual Living, co-founder and minister emeritus of Center for Spiritual Living in Asheville. Reverend Rafe Aston Ellis. Ordained minister of Centers for Spiritual Living, and senior minister and spiritual leader of our Columbia Center for Spiritual Living.
Good morning. Sorry, I have to take a moment and just take this in because this morning I posted on my website, Karen Drucker, thank you for this day. Good morning, my name is Julia Mattis, and I am delighted and honored to be the president of the Board of Trustees here at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Good morning, distinguished guests, cherished members of the Center for Spiritual Living community, and fellow spiritual seekers. In lieu of personal introductions, we have provided you with a detailed program with informational inserts about each of our distinguished guests and speakers today. And for those of you joining online, the program and inserts are available on our website under the Events tab, columbiacsl.com/events. I'm honored to stand before you this morning, and it is with immense joy and profound gratitude that I welcome you to this deeply significant occasion, the ordination and installation of Reverend Rafe A. Ellis. Today we come together to celebrate not only the spiritual journey of one individual, but also the collective journey that has led us to this transformative moment as a community. Looking around this sacred space, I am reminded of the numerous moments that brought us to this pivotal juncture as a community. Our journey has been one of unwavering faith, self-discovery, and transformation, woven together by threads of love, compassion, and a shared purpose. Let us reflect on the past that has brought us here, acknowledging the countless conversations that stirred our souls, the moments of connection that deepened our understanding, and the collective dedication that sustained us through the challenges and triumphs alike. Our unity is forged by the fires of growth, and it's in this very unity that brings us together today. Rev Rafe, as our new senior minister and spiritual leader, is a demonstration of consciousness. His unwavering commitment to spiritual exploration, his boundless compassion for humanity, and his tireless dedication to our teaching is our vision made manifest in form. Today we celebrate his personal calling coming together in divine partnership with us in his new role of guiding us toward a deeper communion with the mysteries that weave through each of our lives. I invite you to participate in this ceremony with an open heart, a receptive mind, allowing yourself to be changed by this shared experience. Welcome.
Good morning, Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, my home. Oh, I'm very emotional this morning because I know that the vision that we have and everything that we have explored in this past year and a half, has come together. And today we are here to live it out loud. So let's just take a moment to just feel this energy as we get quiet, as we know and understand that it's in this place and time that we are one. So as we acknowledge that there is only one power and one presence, one mind, one universal knowing, one creative energy that is alive, it is vibrating, it is here right now, living inside of each and every person here today. It is that force that emanates through us, as us. It is that great I am, that Holy Spirit that is alive and just embracing each and every one of us on this journey today. For we know that this Espíritu Santo is what stands in the middle of every single thing that we do as we walk together hand in hand in celebration and embracing each other in the knowing that the joy and the passion that bubbles up inside of us is here right now, and that every word, every action, every thought that comes through every single person today is that connection. So we bless this time together. We bless Reverend Rafe. We bless each and every person that's here today. We bless the streaming. We bless those that are behind the scenes, for we know that we are one in the spirit of life itself, because the thing itself lets us know that each and every moment of the day. So as we allow ourselves to just go with the flow, and know that it is all good because it is all God. and that today we understand the understanding that there's absolutely nothing to be healed, but the truth to be revealed as we allow it to just bubble up and we just say, yes, yes, yes. And I know words have been spoken through me, through my heart, through my soul, as I surrender them to the law of God, knowing that the law just holds it and deliciously just embraces it and lets it be, lets it be. So I just let it go, let it be, and know that it is done, that this is all delivered perfectly today, and we just together just say it out loud, and so it is. Amen.
In the 1920s, Science of Mind founder, the Reverend Dr. Ernest Shurtleff Holmes, published an essay entitled What I Believe. This was adopted by Centers for Spiritual Living as our declaration of principle, What We Believe. The following is a weaving together of our declaration of principles with the Centers for Spiritual Living global vision. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is a logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We envision all people, all beings, and all life as expressions of God. We believe in the incarnation of the Spirit in all, and that we are all incarnations of the one Spirit.
We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul, forever and ever expanding. We see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other. A world in which individually and collectively we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all.
We envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence and discovering the creative power of thought, a world where each and every person discovers their own personal power and ability to create an individual life that works within a world that works for everyone. We believe in the unity of all life and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. We envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life. A world where this kinship with all life prospers and connects through the guidance of spiritual wisdom and experience.
We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. We envision a world where personal responsibility joins with social conscience in every area of the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors, providing sustainable structures to further the emerging global consciousness. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind which receives the direct impress of our thought and then acts upon it.
We envision a world where each and every person has enough food, a home, a sense of belonging, a world of peace and harmony, enfranchisement and justice. We believe in the healing of the sick through the power of the mind. We envision a world in which resources are valued, cared for, and grown, and where there is generous and continuous sharing of these resources.
We believe in the control of conditions through the power of the mind. We envision a worldwide culture in which forgiveness, whether for errors, injustice, or debts, is the norm. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all.
We envision a world which has renewed its emphasis on beauty, nature, and love through the resurgence of creativity, art, and aesthetics. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life we live is God. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all creation.
This is for the lost and lonely, for the broken and afraid. This is for those who are hurting. Hope and help is on the way. In these battles of addiction, fear is chasing after me. Whatever trouble I am facing, I will lift my hands and see. I believe in miracle power, in a wonder-working God. I believe that I'm filled with the Spirit, working wonders in my heart. I belong to a loving Father. I'm a friend of Christ in me. When it feels like I won't make it, I call on Spirit. what a day may bring, but I know who brings the day. On the darkest night when I cannot see, still my soul will sing. I may not know what a day may bring, but I know who brings the day. On the darkest night when I cannot see, still my soul will sing. I believe in miracle power, in a wonder-working God. I am filled with the Holy Presence, working wonders in my heart. I belong to a loving Father. I'm a friend of Christ in me. When it feels like I won't make it, I call on Jesus. Oh yes, I call on Spirit. Oh yeah, oh yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Sound like we going to church in here. All right now. I'm sharing with you The Moments of My High Resolve by Reverend Dr. Howard Thurman. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. Despite the dullness and barrenness of the days that pass, if I search with due diligence, I can always find a deposit left by some former radiance. But I had forgotten. At the time, it was full-orbed, glorious, and resplendent. I was sure that I would never forget. In the moment of its fullness, I was sure that it would illumine my path for the rest of my journey. I had forgotten how easy it is to forget. There was no intent to portray what seemed so sure at the time. My response was whole, clean, authentic. But little by little, there crept into my life the dust and grit of the journey. Details, lower level demands, all kinds of cross currents, nothing momentous, nothing overwhelming, nothing flagrant, just wear and tear. If there had been some direct challenge, a clear-cut issue, I would have fought it to the end and beyond. In the quietness of this place, surrounded by the all-pervading presence of God, my heart whispers, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, that in fair weather or in foul, in good times or in tempest, in the days when the darkness and the foes are nameless or familiar, I may not forget that to which my life is committed. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. Ashe.
Do I really? Yeah. Okay.
A vessel to be used. Whatever spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stay. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I am, and I stay. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. I will go, I will go, I
Something magical is happening here. It happens in this community more often than not, I think. And I love it. And this is a time we must remember. This is a time of high resolve. So, ordination is a special event that happens in a minister's life, and we like to celebrate it. And so we're here today to celebrate the ordination of Reverend Rafe Ellis. It is a significant and sacred journey. In some denominations, it's part of a graduation But there was a time in our organization where you graduated and had to wait 3 years and give service and report in to say, I'm ready. And I have people who will vouch for me. And Reverend Rafe has done that. He has successfully completed his practitioner license, which is a requirement of being a Science of Mind minister, a Center for Spiritual Living minister. Sorry for that little retro there. He completed his ministerial education and panels. He's performed as a minister for a minimum of 3 years that was required. And he's been reviewed by the Department of Licensing and Credentialing of Centers for Spiritual Living. He's been interviewed by a panel of his peers and deemed worthy of this ordination. And it is the council of the Home Office that grants the office of ordained minister. So while Reverend Rafe passed his ordination panel in the Centers for Spiritual Living annual conference in Indian Wells, California on January 8th, 2022, this season is a rite of passage that fulfills the many years of study and growth. I'm sorry, my nose is running, just like some of your others. It's okay. Thank you. No, I'm okay. Maybe you can cut that part from the... So this ceremony is a rite of passage that fulfills his many years of study, growth, and the commitment he made to complete his ordination process. And it's an official ceremony that we're doing today. It's transformational experience and his public declaration that ministering to the spiritual well-being and growth of all and his covenant with life itself and his sacred commitment to spiritual service for life.
Do this first, maybe they didn't tell you about this. This will just take a minute. Okay. This is Reverend Rafe's ministerial stole. Something that I came to do some time ago was give those who take the time and have the energy and enthusiasm to come and be a part of this ritual, gets to put a blessing in this. So it's going to be passed around, and you're going to get to touch it for the last time. But it'll be filled, when it's put across his shoulders, it will be filled with your love, with your support, with your blessings. So we're going to do that now. And Deborah's close. There she is. Let's do it just like that. Thank you. Reverend Rafe Ellis. The ties of a minister to their ministry represent a bond that is sacred, empowering, safe, constant, and everlasting. Ordination calls you to step into a new life of spiritual service and commitment. Ministry, with its glorious moments of holy revelation and its challenging moments of messy group dynamics, has become your lifelong passion, your own classroom, and your crucible. Today you cross a threshold of no return. So if you want to leave now, do it. You become a minister for life. This union is to be undertaken with great consideration and respect for your ministry, for all those you serve, and for yourself. Out of all the possibilities for giving your gifts to the world, you have chosen to be a minister of Centers for Spiritual Living. This is a tremendous blessing to us, and we see it as a tremendous blessing to you for the rest of your life. Over the years, your ministry will change, as will you. But your commitment to those desires of your heart that have brought you here today will never change. Your commitment ensures a life of sacred satisfaction in ministry. Never hold back. Bring to your ministry all your wisdom and all your skills for organizing, communicating, and casting visions. But above all else, love these who you are here to serve. As a minister, you must have a breadth of heart that holds others' hearts, comforts, heals, and remains deep enough to serve your own spiritual growth. Do not be an island. Seek the support of all that nurtures and sustains you. Rest and take time for yourself. Remember, you are committed to this calling for life, and your life at times will seem very long. Keep your thoughts centered and balanced, and seek to see divine presence in every person you meet. I charge you, beloved Reverend Rafe, to teach, to heal, to love, and to minister to all who seek your guidance and counsel. Allow the peace of God to be forever in your heart, the truth of God to express through your every word, and the light of God to move through your life into a world that awaits all the mighty gifts you have to give. There's more? Somehow that got left out of mine. Okay. So, Dr. Michelle, I present to you Reverend Rafe Aston Ellis to be ordained into the ministry of Centers for Spiritual Living.
Okay. Are you convinced, Dr. John, that Reverend Rafe, whom you are presenting, is prepared and worthy for the office and work of an ordained minister of religious science?
Having inquired, that's in here somewhere, I'll read yours anyway, concerning Reverend Rafe, I believe him to be both prepared and worthy.
Reverend Rafe has been found to be prepared and ready to receive ordination in the centers. The truth is, only God can ordain. I want to be clear about that. We say CSL, but only God ordains, and only God does the call. We are gathered here to witness a magnificent ceremony of initiation and transformation. This ordination ceremony is an initiation of a licensed minister into the lifelong calling of ministry. I'm going to skip this because I think you did that already. Yeah, okay. And you're up again. Unless you just went ahead.
Are you still Reverend Rafe?
I think so.
Aston Ellis? Okay.
Pretty sure I am, yes.
The ties of a minister to their ministry represent a bond of sacred, empowering, safe, constant, and with this ceremony everlasting. With ordination, you step into a new life of ceremony, a new life of spiritual service and commitment. Ministry, with its glorious moments of holy revelation and its changing moments of messy group dynamics, has become your lifelong passion and your classroom.
We just did that.
I know I did. I'm not going to do it again.
Okay, fair enough. I love us.
I know.
Right?
I love us too.
Maybe that part about the messy moments, here we are.
We're just living the principle.
If you can't laugh at yourself, get a different job.
We're laughing at each other.
Yeah, same thing. Reverend Rafe, the Centers for Spiritual Living has consented to the convening of this ordination service in recognition of the fact that your ministry is precious to it. Columbia Center for Spiritual Living offers you this celebration to demonstrate your sincerity and commitment to its ever-enlarging dream of growth in consciousness that will lift the human spirit and heal a troubled world. You have heard the charge offered by Dr. John. Are you prepared to take your vows to become a minister for life of the Centers for Spiritual Living?
I am.
No, I'll get it together. Will you dedicate yourself to respond faithfully to the needs of all those who call upon you? Will you bring the very best that you are into your ministry for the love of the people you serve and your own deepening?
I will.
Oh, you got the thing. Sorry. Please fold your hands over your heart as a symbol of the sanctity with which you take these vows. Reverend Rafe, do you promise to love and to be loyal to the teachings of Science of Mind and to the ministry that you serve? Do you promise to minister to all those who come to you to the best of your ability and to seek to the face of God in all people?
I do.
Do you promise to maintain your own spiritual practice so that your relationship with Spirit is always fresh and new?
I do.
And do you promise to promote harmony, peace, and right action wherever you are called to minister?
Absolutely, I do.
Now please repeat after me. I, Reverend Rafe Aston Ellis.
I, Reverend Rafe Aston Ellis.
Commit to my ministry for my lifetime.
Commit to my ministry for my lifetime.
I promise to open my life to God so I may.
I promise to open my life to God so that I may
hear what is mine to first be and then do.
What is mine to first be and then do.
I promise to tenderly care for all who come to me in spiritual need.
I promise to care for all who come to me in spiritual need.
From this day forward, I will seek to make the world
a
place of increased love, peace, and joy.
A place of increased love, peace, and joy.
I speak my word to heal and prosper all.
I speak my word to heal and prosper all.
And I pray that God is fulfilled in, through, and as me.
And I pray that God is fulfilled in, through, and as me.
Beloved Reverend Rafe, because you have been found eminently qualified for ordination, and because you have made your sacred vows in front of your community, your family, your colleagues, and your friends, by the authority vested in me
by the Centers for Spiritual Living. I now confer upon you ordination as a minister of the Centers for Spiritual Living. Congratulations. Beloved Reverend Rafe, because you have been, oh, no, wait, no. This is you.
Oh, I got more? Oh, yes, I know all about that. And Deborah, how are we doing? We're ready? Give me 1 second. Let's get on the right page here. Here we go. Thank you very much. Okay. Centers for Spiritual Living has a special gift for you. It's very heavy. It's filled with love. Although that makes it very light, doesn't it? It's a symbol of your newly acquired station as an ordained minister. This stole that we now confer upon you is a symbol of the promises you have already made, your devotion to a life of spiritual service, and a reminder that the power of the infinite is available to everyone. Wear this stole as a reminder of your spiritual authority. Your ordination stole is purple and gold, and though colors mean different things to different people, purple is often considered to be the color of devotion, mystery, peace, and nobility. Purple combines the calm stability of blue and the fierce energy of red. Your stole, trimmed in gold, symbolizes your divinity, your prosperity, your illumination, love, compassion, and courage. The satin fabric is a reminder that your ministry, like your life, is woven from the threads of many people, events, and understandings. It represents the many different experiences that make your life, as well as your ministry, a strong and beautiful tapestry of truth. The smooth quality of satin reminds us that in those rough spots of ministry, you can lean into your spiritual nature, where you will always find the smoothness of spirit. Our Science of Mind teaching symbol expresses the triune nature of God, which continually reveals itself in every aspect of our lives, reminding us that spirit descends into form and expresses as all of the sacred, sublime, and divine. Every time you wear this stole, remember that you are connected to all clergy and spiritual teachers and all who seek to know the truth around the globe and across the centuries. You carry upon your shoulders the form and the essence of your ministry, clarity, love, strength of a great philosophy, and a rich and fulfilling way of life. This stole is a loving blessing to you and to all who bless you here today. And so it is.
Get on the lips.
See, even when we botch the order of service, he's still ordained.
Are you doing the feather blessing? Okay.
Where?
I have no idea.
Yeah, next page. Okay. There we go. Okay.
It's music. Holy now.
Okay. All right. I have one statement, and then you. No, don't sit down. Don't. You can stay. You can stay. This is just the official word that we are now moving to the part of the ceremony of the installation.
First they're going to do this.
Yes. I was giving you a script. You gave it to me.
We are getting along.
I'll sit down now.
No. Yes, ma'am.
I love these people. Peas in a pod. So I feel right at home. That's why I fit right in. Like you to imagine. Oh goodness, I can't even talk about it without crying. This is, I believe, a song from his heart, and I'll sing it for him. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad that miracles don't happen still. But now I can't keep track. find out how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. Used to be a world half there, heaven's second rate hand me down. But I'm walking with the Reverend Ed, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to explain that right now. So now we're going to do a little bit of exercising. Let you move. What we're doing is Eugene and I are going to lead everybody out. We're going to exit through the kitchenway door and circle around. And once everybody has cleared, then we will re-enter. Eugene and I will put the archway in place. And so I invite you, as you walk through this door, to leave anything about this community that no longer serves you or this community in this room. Because when we all leave, it will be transformed back to nothingness. And then I will lead us back in through the archway, and I invite you to enter with a new consciousness, a new awareness of stepping into a new experience of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living.
Yes! Right.
So that's what we're going to do. So Eugene and musicians, follow me, and then everybody else follow. That way you guys can get up here. You can mute my mic, Rick. That would be good.
Let's take a breath together. I'm going to talk about Rafe Ellis, the man. I've known and have been loving Rafe for 25 years. We started as friends. We became partners and have been partners. And we've been married for 17 years. So it's my great honor and pleasure to speak about his heart of love, his integrity, and his character. So I want to begin with a quote that's been alive in me as I've been contemplating speaking about my beloved. Muhammad Ali once said, "He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life." Now, Rafe Ellis is a man that indeed takes risks. When I first met him in 1998, I experienced him living a principled life. And I watched him live more deeply from spiritual principles as he grew. Now, sometimes that means telling hard truths, and at times in the face of rejection. He chooses integrity over comfort. Integrity demands living in alignment with spiritual principle no matter what. Sometimes that can mean so many things. Now, in contemplating today, there's many, many things I could say about Rafe, but I want to assure you that I'm only going to share a little, so no worries. You can ask me questions later. I may or may not have an answer. So in 2003, I'll begin with his loving heart. Now, we worked together. That's how we met. And there was a friendship that he had with a mutual coworker who was dying. She was initially very angry and not ready to accept her diagnosis. And at times, she was really challenged. It was a collective opportunity and not easy for all of us, and it was a pretty large agency that we worked for. Rafe, with such grace and love, stepped in. He stepped in and poured that love balm, right? And sometimes we would talk and he would remind me that we are not our behavior. And he would lovingly know the truth about who she was. And she would calm in his presence. Now, I've had the opportunity to see Rafe give that kind of love over and over and over in the 25 years that I've known him. In 2003, I'll share a little story about his integrity. Now, he came to me in full transparency with his heart in his hands shortly after we had begun dating and shared his detailed plan that he was going to have what he called a gender alignment, a gender realignment. A gender alignment. Yeah. And I said, "What does that mean?" And I stood, and he lovingly educated me about what that meant. And what I knew in my heart was that I loved him. And so it is. We float on into the mystery. Now, fast forward now to 2006, where Rafe, at that same place that we worked together, had become the quality assurance director and corporate compliance officer for this agency. We had now been engaged for 18 months, and our wedding date was set for 6/3/06. And he came to me again with his loving heart in his hands, and integrity and full transparency, and said, "Deborah, we need to talk. There's fraud being committed, and I must tell the truth about it. And what I want you to know is when I do that, is our life as we know it is going to change. Our income's going to change. Our lifestyle is going to change. And I understand, Deborah, if you don't want to marry me." What he thought was going to happen, happened when he stood boldly and told the truth about what he knew and what he was charged to care for and be a steward of. Flowing on into the mystery we went. In 2007, integrity again, we began working in security. And he was the captain of the security company. And it ended up that I began working, and I became a licensed security officer. And I worked in the field, and I trained officers, and I also worked in patrol. And I was on a post, and on that post, I was charged with being on the property, making sure everything was secure for the client, and foot patrolling around the property, and then checking in at different points with the office and things that I needed to do to be accountable. And I decided that day that I wanted a cup of coffee. And it was just me on patrol. And I could see the Starbucks down the street, right? And I thought to myself, you could get down to that Starbucks, still see the building, and go ahead and get your cup of coffee. And be right back, and everything's secure, because you've been doing your patrols. Well, it turns out, when Rafe found out about that, he fired me. Oh, yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did. And he explained to me, and that I was responsible to be on that post, and that the client was paying for it, and that was my duty, to be where I was supposed to be. And if I needed something else to happen, then I just needed to communicate with the office about that, and something could be figured out. Now, I want to tell you that the officers I worked with were not in agreement with his call. The owners of the company were not in agreement with his call. And me being his wife didn't matter. And what I want to say about that is he stood strong in his integrity and his principles about what was right, in the face of a whole lot of folks not agreeing with him. So I'm going to fast forward now to October 2020. And following the death of George Floyd at a memorial in the small community that we lived in for Black Lives Matter, he was asked by community members to speak as a minister. His speech brought comfort to all that were grieving there. Then, in response to an incident where peaceful protesters were attacked in our small town, Rafe was once again sought out by other faith leaders in the community to teach them to de-escalation tactics, to teach them to them, so that they could march again with a new level of consciousness and awareness. The march gathered over 500 people in this small town, and it proceeded and was completed in peace. So in closing, what I want to say about Rafe is, as you may or may not know, he has a wicked sense of humor. He has a silly sense of humor, and he has the propensity to state the obvious and then crack himself up while he's doing it. Right? Yeah, he does that. So, and I'll give you some examples of that. You know, he's often can be cited wearing, not my crown, but wearing my hats out in the community, right? But he'd be wearing them, he'd just be walking along, acting like it's all normal, wearing my hats and being silly, right? And I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about a time when our niece was having a meltdown and she was just having such anxiety. And she dared Rafe to wear her tutu. Right? So she took off her tutu and he wore it around and they laughed and laughed and laughed until her anxiety just melted away. Yeah, it was very sweet. Very, very sweet. So what I want to close with here is this. This beloved human has navigated and done an incredible amount of living in a short period of time. I mean, he has packed a lot of juiciness, and he has a lot of life experience. You know, he loves to cook, he loves to sew, he loves to knit, he loves to crochet, he builds things, he's a repurposer. He can take something and think about it for a minute and repurpose it into something new. He's always bubbling with ideas, right? Always bubbling with ideas. This morning on the way here, well, I'm going to throw this in. Last night I broke the coffee pot, right? Just broke the cup, but I was trying to fill it with water and broke it. And he was like, no problem. We cleaned it all up, and he said, I'll make coffee for us in the morning. The little percolator thing that he did, he made us coffee this morning. Right? Yeah, always figuring out a solution, always thinking ahead, always contemplating, always readying himself for some kind of solution to something. Some kind of solution to something. He's a visionary leader who's always contemplating ideas and formulating plans. He studies, he teaches, and disciplines his mind and emotion, and then leads with love in everything that he does. He has an amazing emotional intelligence that just moves me to the core. So I want to leave you with this, my beloveds. Beloved community, this is who you have called forth as your minister. Amen. Namaste.
Well, Deborah didn't leave me anything to talk about. So that's the way it goes. Except there's one thing that I know for sure, and that is that principle is not bound by precedent. There is no limit to how God can show up, to how Spirit expresses itself, and it is always adapting. It is not limited to whatever the expression was before. And so Deborah has shared with you about the man, the person, and I get to reflect on my experience of God as Rafe Ellis, the minister. I met Rafe when he was a practitioner, and from the very first series of conversations and encounters, I was like, this is a crazy person. To which his response, if you have ever said anything like that to him, his response was what it always is. Rafe, you're a crazy person. Yes, thank you. Like, I'm so glad you noticed. Right? And it's a good thing. And so as a minister, there are three things that really stand out for me as I have watched and engaged with and observed and talked with Rafe about his perspective on ministry and his commitment to ministry. And you're going to hear some similarity because I believe that the way you do one thing is the way you do Everything. And so there is continuity. There is not Rafe the man turning that off and putting on the minister cap or hat or ordained stole, as it may be. So 3 things. Number 1, honesty. This is a man who values honesty and holds himself to a high standard. It related to being honest. Now, the reason that stands out for me is because so often we find ourselves in spiritual community and conversations, and people will say, well, this is what I really think, but I'm going to be nice or kind. And so I'm not going to tell you the truth of it. I'm going to say what I think you want to hear or what I think you might be ready for. That is not love, and that is not honesty. Rafe Ellis is a leader who believes in honesty with tact, with diplomacy, with love, but honesty. You will hear the honest truth as he knows it, and as he perceives it, and as he understands it. Honesty. Number 2, this is a man who will do the hard things, have the hard conversations, but also do the hard work. Do the hard work in whatever amount of time it takes, whether that is completing ministerial school in 2 years when it takes most people 4 to 5, and having a plan and doing it, or whether that's doing the hard work of looking in the mirror and saying, who I am needs to grow to fulfill this commitment. Honesty, doing the hard thing, and number 3, being guided by a commitment and a desire to be a catalyst for there to be heaven on earth. Heaven on earth. Can you imagine that? Do you know what that feels like? Do you have in your mind what that might look like for you and for this community? Heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is one of the core things that Rafe has never said to me in these words. But when I listen to him talk, I know that he is coming from this place of seeing and believing that we are here to create heaven on earth. And whatever he must do as a leader to create that for himself and his family, and now you are his family. Amen. It is about how do we need to love each other? How do we need to show up? How do we need to learn together? How do we need to heal together? Because we are about the business of being heaven on earth. And is there anyone in this room who would like to have a minister leading their community who is serious about heaven on earth? Well, that's what you have in my beloved, the Reverend Rafe Ellis. Bless you, Rafe Ellis. Bless Columbia CSL. You have an amazing man, as Deborah has shared. You have an amazing minister leading this ministry. And are you ready to step into the mystery that provides for you?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
I have nothing to read. I can stand here with you. Thank you, Deborah, for your very good words. And thank you, Dr. Brown, for all that you've shared. We've heard about the man. We've heard about the minister. I come here to speak to you of the mystery. And I begin my remarks by telling you that I know, and that I think you probably know, that Rafe Ellis is not normal. He may be the least normal minister I've ever known. What a blessing. What an extraordinary blessing for you that this is the truth. Everybody know what mental equivalence is? Yes. Okay. So mental equivalence, which is a term I learned from Ernest Holmes, says that we must have a mental understanding, a mental model, a mental image of something for it to be created in our lives. This idea of mental equivalence is at the heart of who Rafe Ellis is in his world, because he has been through so much. He has struggled and gone through the gauntlet of life in a way that he knows what it's like to be in deep pain. Yeah. He knows what it's like to have things not work out the way you would have liked them to work out. Yeah. He has all of these things that have happened in his life. But more importantly, he knows what it's like to be on the other side of that. Yes. And that's what he brings to you. And to give you an example of this, an important example of this, and I've asked, and I know that he has spoken of a young man in his life named Justin. Justin came into Rafe's life when he was a teenager, lost, struggling with life. And like Rafe could so well do, he fell in love with this young man, held him, supported him, believed in him, and Justin made it through and created a wonderful life for himself. But what happened with Justin is he had to leave early. He had to leave when he was in his 30s. And it broke this one's heart. To this day, if Justin comes up in conversation, he will correct me. I'll keep it at me. And he will say, "My son, Justin." That's how close they were. And if you have children, then you understand this idea of being separated in physical form from someone that's that important to you. It can be excruciating. So it just happens that Justin lived very close to where I live. And so Rafe had to come from California to a very traditional Christian funeral service filled with people that he'd known from his prior life. People who were also in pain about Justin's leaving. But in most of the cases of most of these people, they were unwilling to accept Rafe for who he was in the revelation of the truth of his being and the looks of disdain that were sent Rafe's way, the looks of anger and hatred that were sent as this one is going through this incredible sense of loss. I can't even imagine what that must have been like. Yet he never feigned away. He was hurting bad, and I was there to watch, hold his back. I didn't know him that well. We'd met a couple of times, but we really hadn't gotten to know each other. But that day I got to know him, and I saw the essence of his character. I saw the truth of his being, and I knew that he would be my friend the rest of my life. So we created this really strong heart connection. And during the time that we've been in this relationship, every time we've spoken, we've laughed. There's never been anger or upset. There's been comfort and support, him to me to him. The way it's supposed to be when God meets God on the road to Damascus. What a joyous thing that you have this man to be your minister. You're not going to ever bring him anything he can't handle. That's true. He will tell you the truth. He will stand principle. Ernest Holmes said that it is far easier to teach the truth than it is to live the truth. This man lives the truth. He can teach it to you as well, but he lives it. So you can trust him. You can take your guard down and be real with him, because he's always going to be real with you. So in celebration of this wonderful day of ordination and installation, one has come to bless this extraordinary man. So, Reverend Rafe, would you come forward, please? Would you stand right here, brother? I hold in my hand a feather of the great eagle of the Great Plains, the one that sees the farthest, the one that flies the highest, that the qualities of this incredible being would touch this one's life and reveal the magnificence that is present before us. Tankashila, Wangkang Tanka. Come and bless this one who stands firm in the truth of life. Blow through him all that he will ever require to do his good work in this world, to someday leave this world a much better place than he found it. Fill him with wisdom that he may know the truth for any and all. Surround his heart always in love, that he may share that love to all who come to him. Release him from the past, of all that he no longer needs, and send him forward into this world to touch the hearts and lives of all those who seek to know the truth, that they may live the lives that they have come to live. Bless this one with every breath, with every thought, yes, with every possibility. Where the goodness of life flows through his veins, flows through his mind, and all is well. All is good. All is good. All the takwiyasa. Thank you.
you.
is spectacular. Thank you. Well, you've heard that Spiritual Living, I want to congratulate you on this amazing day. I know you've all waited a long time to find the perfect minister. How wonderful it is to call on such a remarkable minister as Reverend Rafe. You, beloveds, have found a pearl. I hope you know how incredibly blessed, how blessed you are in this sacred, beloved community. Reverend Rafe comes to you with an open heart and great energy and love. Love him. And watch how that affects and reflects on your life and well-being, as well as the life of your community. And Rafe, in this thing called ministry, you will be called upon to be caring and therefore vulnerable, and people will be people. What I hope for you is that you take care of your soft places first, your family, and your close friends. They will give you a place to land when things get hard. Keep the soft places alive and vibrant for yourself. In spiritual community, we gather, each one of us, carrying our unique stories, bonded by common principles, coming with challenging questions, and sharing space together. Being a minister requires extraordinary mindfulness, bravery, vulnerability, communication, and yes, a heavy, heavy dose of humor. The writer and priest Barbara Brown Taylor writes, "Whoever you are human. Wherever you are, you live in the world. which is just waiting for you to notice the holiness in it. Rafe, your ministry is woven together by stories of all the humans who have been a part of it. You invite people to notice their holiness and the holiness of every living thing. This is no small task, and you do it well. We celebrate you today. I celebrate you today. My hope for you is that you continue taking care of yourself and your community, telling the truth, shining your light, embodying love, and finding the humor in it all. To be such a light with all that you have been through to get here is remarkable. And we're all grateful for the way you continue to show up and do this sacred work. I know today is a blessing, and I want you to know on behalf of Centers for Spiritual Living, we are grateful for your commitment to Columbia and to your organization. Today and each day, celebrate your life. Peace and blessings. Reverend Sonny Cantrell Smith.
I want to make one quick point before we go on to this next piece, and that is while Reverend Sonny refers to the pearl that you received, please also honor the piece of sand that got into that oyster that had to be coddled and cared for and loved and healed. So it's the journey. I just encourage you to remember the journey as your own, but to remember that journey. Okay, where are we? We are now moving on, and I seem to be out of papers. I seem to use my, okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. Nope. We've been here a minute. Here it is, right? All right. So, official notification has been received by the Centers for Spiritual Living in Golden, Colorado, that Reverend Rafe Ellis has been duly chosen by the membership, you, to be the spiritual leader of this beautiful, beautiful community. I'm so impressed. I now present Reverend Rafe to the membership, the licensed practitioners, and the Board of Trustees of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living to be officially installed as your senior minister and spiritual leader. So, Reverend Rafe, earlier you heard our declaration of principles and goals.
Something you said. I don't know.
And I wasn't even facing the speaker, I don't think. And the global vision. Do you accept and promise to adhere to these principles and this vision, making them your own and the basis of your teaching?
I do.
Do you consecrate yourself to the ministry of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, and that you will do your utmost at all times to reflect the Christ consciousness within in all you think, say, and do?
I will.
Do you so dedicate yourself that you will be constantly aware of the Spirit within all people, and that you will see only the perfect spiritual person, perfect in mind, in spirit, and in body?
I do.
Do you promise to minister faithfully and lovingly to the people now committed to your charge, and to seek ever to be an example of moderation, patience, and loving kindness?
I do.
May the infinite Spirit, which empowers you to do all these things, grace you with the strength to faithfully perform the same and to live the vision of the center and the vision of the Centers for Spiritual Living.
Thank you.
Please stand. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
What a beautiful community you are. Earlier, you heard our Declaration of Principles and Global Vision. Do you accept and promise to adhere to these principles and the vision, making them your own and the basis of your learning and spiritual practice? If so, please say, I do. I do. Yay. Do you promise to support Reverend Rafe by sharing your authentic ideas and spiritual curiosities with him? If so, please say, I do. I do. When you have, this is very important, when you have a differing opinion, and you will, because at some point, he will piss you off. It's what we do. Okay? So when you have a differing opinion, do you promise to pray first, meditate secondly, and then respectfully communicate directly with Reverend Rafe? If so, please say, I do. I do. Thank you for that one. Do you accept, Reverend, if there's any way to sabotage anything, it's to not keep that one alive. Print that one up and put it on your mirror. Do you accept Reverend Rafe as your minister and a spiritual leader and teacher? If so, please say, I do. I do. Thank you. Please be seated. Reverend Rafe Aston Ellis, through the authority vested in me by the Centers for Spiritual Living of Golden, Colorado, and acting on behalf of the spiritual community, I do install you here and now as the senior minister and spiritual leader, of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, with all the rights, privileges, obligations appertaining to your office. Teach, heal, and minister to the people. Peace be with you. The God of peace dwells. Sorry, wait. The God of peace dwells richly in your heart through love and makes your labor fruitful unto eternal life. Amen.
Amen.
And we have a song.
Love you, Reverend.
Absolutely.
Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, flow into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, flow into the mystery. You have all you need, it's all inside of you. Just close your eyes and breathe and know that you are saved. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, flow into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water
Now it's my turn. And I'm actually going to what Reverend Michelle said is infinitely true. At some point, we will piss each other off. If we haven't already. It has been 6 months. There's been plenty of time. And what I know,
If not, you're due.
is that none of us is our behavior. You never have been your behavior. Your behavior is simply a symptom of your belief. And that can change. Or not. You get to choose. Right? We don't have to like each other's behavior, but we do get to love each other right in the middle of them. Right? I may never like your behavior, and you can never make me not love you. You can't behave badly enough to make me not love you. And this is coming from a minister who had a congregant threaten to shoot him in the face. So I'm telling you, you can't make me not love you. They've already tried. They failed. So we're just going to love each other. And we're going to grow together. And you get to question everything. Even what you think you know, especially what we think we know. Let's question it. So, as the newly installed senior minister, I get to reinstall everybody into our new experience of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Give Rick a minute on the sound. So I'm going to invite everybody who considers themselves to be a member of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living to please rise if you are able. You are the voice of this center. You are the ambassadors of Science of Mind in this community. You are our backbone. Do you commit yourself to study, practice, and live the principles of Science of Mind, moment by moment? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
Do you commit to know and advance the vision of this center? If so, please respond, I do.
I do.
Do you promise to give of your time, talent, and treasure to support and grow our beloved Columbia Center for Spiritual Living? If so, please respond, I do.
I do.
Members, through the authority vested in me as your new senior minister and spiritual leader of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, I do install you, each of you, here and now as members of the new Columbia Center for Spiritual Living with all the rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining to you as members. Please be seated. And now I'm going to ask the Board of Trustees, if you serve on the Board of Trustees, to please stand. Members of Columbia Centers for Spiritual Living, I present to you those individuals you have duly elected to serve on our Board of Trustees. Not only do these board members serve the business and overseeing the business of our center, but their individual and collective awareness establishes a consciousness for our entire community. Board members, do you commit yourself to the execution of your duties as the trustees of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living in alignment with the principles and practices of Science of Mind and the bylaws of this center? If so, please respond, I do.
I do.
Do you commit yourself to know the truth of abundance and prosperity, first for yourself and then for Columbia Center for Spiritual Living? If so, respond, I do.
I do.
Do you promise to follow the light of truth, seeking at all times to be aware of what is right rather than who is right? If so, please respond, I do. Do you dedicate yourselves to serve as the fiscal stewards of the resources of the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, always reconciling any sense of lack and limitation, and leading from the consciousness and intention of expansion and growth? If so, please respond, I do.
I do.
Trustees of the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, through the authority vested in me as your senior minister, I do install you, each of you, here and now, trustees in service to our new Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, with all the rights, privileges, obligations pertaining to you as trustees of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you. Okay, now it's getting fun. So if I could get all of my beautiful licensed practitioners to bring your beloved selves right here. So, facing me at the moment. You're going to be facing all of us in a minute. And we have Idalia. And just for the record, Idalia is live from Florida. This is a truly hybrid service. I knew we could do it. Okay, so for the moment, turn and face your community. Members of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, I present to you those individuals who have chosen to serve you as licensed religious science practitioners. Now, if I could get you to turn back around so I can look at your beautiful faces. As your minister, I know and I understand the role of a licensed practitioner. Been there, done that. As an integral part of our ecclesiastical team, establishing and maintaining a continual consciousness of the spiritual vision of our center, you carry out most of the work in the great and powerful silence. The fruits of this work are manifested as demonstrations in the lives of yourselves, your clients, and our center, and me. You have chosen to serve God, Centers for Spiritual Living, and the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living by living fully the principles we teach. Each of you has followed your heart and has answered your inner call. Being a licensed practitioner of religious science is a sacred obligation, a journey of love, and a dedication of all aspects of your being, the whole you. Do you promise to uphold the teachings of science of mind and spirit in everything you say, in everything you do, and in everything you are? If so, please respond, I do.
I do.
Do you promise to live in a conscious awareness of your own divinity first, so that you can know the divinity of others? If so, please respond, I do.
I do.
Do you dedicate yourselves to hold inviolate the confidentiality and identity of those who come to you for spiritual guidance in accordance with all applicable laws, spiritual and physical? If so, please respond, I do.
I do.
Do you promise to abide by the Centers for Spiritual Living Practitioner Code of Ethics?
I do.
Do you dedicate yourselves to the discipline of regular and faithful prayer so that you may expand the experience of your life in loving service to God and humanity? If so, please respond, I do.
I do.
And do you dedicate yourselves to serve whoever calls upon you in your constant recognition of their divinity? If so, please respond, I do.
I do.
Practitioners, I see you, Idalia. Through the authority vested in me as your senior minister and the spiritual leader of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, I do install you here and now as licensed religious science practitioners in service to this amazing new experience of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, with all of the rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining to you as licensed practitioners. Now, I'm going to let each of you have a seat, and I'm going to explain to everybody what's going on next. So go ahead and have a seat, but don't go far. Because as newness, symbology matters. And so, as a community, we are gifting these amazing practitioners with new practitioner stoles. A practitioner stole, very much like this one, is a vestment of spiritual power. And Idalia has gotten hers. Beloved, which camera is she in, Don? Which camera am I in? The big one or the little one? No, which camera's looking at me? That one. I love you, Idalia. I cherish you. Thank you for staying so connected and so in service all the way from Florida to here. Consciousness is not bound by time and space. Thank you. And so I have the pleasure of stoling each of you individually. And I really don't know what order I put them up here in. But they each have your names on them, so it's easy. Right? Julia Mattis, please step forward. So I also get to say things, because you can't stop me. You, beloved, have been an incredible force for good in this community. You said yes to the call, and then you said yes to the calls. You climbed out on the airplane wing at 30,000 feet and put new engines on a plane that was trying to crash. Your love is palpable. Let yourself receive the same amount back. Who's next? Rebecca Bell. I so deeply appreciate your honesty and your authenticity. A lot of people say they want direct communication, and then when they get it, not so much. We're not those people. I adore just that trust to just get real. I cherish the work you do in the world as a teacher, loving what society often deems the unlovable. Thank you. Come here, brother. Since this is a PG-rated affair, I'll behave.
Okay.
But if you want stories, I got them.
So do I.
It's true. It's true. And we might use it as a fundraiser.
Good idea.
I love you, Eugene. I love your heart. I love your mind. I love your silliness. And I love your willingness to own your stuff. That's where growth happens. I appreciate your vulnerability to not run away when you so easily could. I adore you, and I appreciate the work you do in the world, one heart at a time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to save that one. Because I can. Not ready for that yet. Reverend Jenna. We are always practitioners first, last and always. And I appreciate you actually showing up as a practitioner when a practitioner is needed, and showing up as a minister when a minister is needed, and just showing up as a human being when a human being is needed. I appreciate all of our conversations and the silliness and the what the heck does this mean anyway conversations, and the manufacturing of how are we going to attach things to things conversations. Thank you. Thank you for your stick-to-itiveness and not running away and still being here so I could experience you. Thank you. Thank you. Miss Reggie Cap. You are absolutely one of the most generous human beings I have ever made the experience of knowing. I mean, you housed me when I came here to get started, and you essentially just said, here's a house. and then you trusted me by even leaving and going to another state. I mean, who does that? Tom and Reggie Cap, that's who do that. I so deeply appreciate everything you have done for this center as the ops person, as a practitioner, and as helping me get my feet under me, and just your honesty and living from principle, even when it's not so comfortable. So thank you. I adore you. Thank you. Okay. Miss Ayodele McClenny. Yes, you.
There's always another one.
Our relationship began before I even knew this existed.
How about that?
How about that? And here we be. It's so refreshing to have conversations that are unguarded. It's truly a gift. Your willingness to explore, to question, to wrestle with, that is the stuff that takes us more deeply spiritually.
It's mutual.
Yeah. Your desire to serve moves my heart. You are precious to me. Thank you. It was easier to fire her.
I don't know what happened when you guys got home.
How much money you got?
Into the mystery.
The day I remember, and I'm going to tell the story, where she was struggling, and I looked at her as a newly licensed, really enthusiastic practitioner, and I said, "Remember, baby, you're God. Don't you get that?" And she says, "I get you're stupid." True story. And years later, after many declarations of, you just need to get, I am never going to be a practitioner, out of the apparent nowhere, which is, just so you know, there's no such place, it's right here. She comes to me with just absolute, I know we don't have the money, I don't know where it's coming from, but I have to be a licensed practitioner and I have to start now. Okay. Because what else do you say? And you have never looked back. The day I met you as a human being, you were living practitioner consciousness, talking about and teaching people how to meet heroin addicts where they live with an open heart, how to look past the ugliest of behaviors and be with people in the truth of their being. It's been your profession for 45 years. It's how you live your life. And it is what I fell in love with that day. I am so honored that you took your time to decide to move your license here. That you did it by conscious choice, not to follow me, but because you choose to serve this community. You are the most remarkable human being I have ever known. I love you. Oh, but wait. I have one more stole and I have no more practitioners. I wonder. Jamie Hudson Craig, please come here. When someone reaches out and says, I would like to be installed as the music minister, and you're already planning to do that, and so you do the most ministerial thing you can do and still be in integrity and simply not respond. And then they call you yesterday and say, you know, I'm not sure what you told me when I asked about being installed. Did you ever? I said, I didn't respond. That's why you don't know. And we laughed and I got her sidetracked on something else, and I still didn't respond. It's an art. Because I knew this moment was happening. Music is a ministry, and you don't need a ministerial license, and you don't need a practitioner license. And yeah, I'm going to go here. You just need to take your foot off the brake. You are already answering the call of God within you to be the magnificence that we have all experienced here this morning. There is so much more just waiting to burst forward. This stole is the very first of its kind, because the place that makes our stoles did not have a music symbol. And so I found one that was public domain, and they digitized it. And so you are the very first person to ever own a Oneness interface stole with this music symbol. I'm not done yet. So we'll give her a minute to catch her breath before she has to sing again. It's like, where do I put this so I don't mess up her singing? And it's like, there's nowhere. So this is our time of giving, conscious giving. And if I could get a couple of folks to do the offering thing around Tom Square, Tony, thank you. They're going to play music, but I invite you to understand. I'm done asking you to consider. Now I'm asking you to actually understand that life is reciprocity, that you cannot receive without giving, that creation gave first, and that's why you're here, and that we sustain and grow this community by giving to it. And so I invite you to just be with that. I invite you to take your gift in hand and repeat after me. In a consciousness of abundance, I give freely, knowing that I am freely given to. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gifts.
Beauty of God, we sublime, standing in awe of the vastness of you, the glory and the power and all the vibrant hues, calling love forward as we walk along. Oh, thrilled in your presence, the rocks cry out this song. Beauty of God, I see your face, yeah. Original spirit fills this place. Beauty of God, without time. Original spirit, you are sublime. One more time. Beauty of God, I see your face. Original spirit fills this place. Beauty of God, without time. Original spirit, you are sublime.
And so what I know is the infinite has given to the infinite. That God has given God to God. Grateful for every gift given. Grateful for the giver, I know that every earthly need within this community is met, and that we grow from the overflow. Grateful, grateful, grateful. And so it is. So in wrapping things up, I want to thank the ministerial search team who got all of this started. If you have buyer's remorse, here are the people to talk to. You can meet with Rebecca Bell or Tony Mathewson. They were the chairs. You can talk with Ayodele McClenny, Evelyn Templeman, Jody Davidson, Julia Mattis, Dr. Phil Eldred, and Tom Kapp. I want to thank you, Reverend Faith. Thank you, Dr. Michelle. We've been on this journey a while. She has peeled me off the ceiling many times. Thank you, Dr. Tracy Brown, wherever you escaped to. Thank you, Deborah Ellis. And thank you, Dr. John B. Waterhouse. I will close with this. The very first New Thought minister I ever experienced was Barbara. She changed my life with one sentence. If you want your life to get better, pay attention to what you're paying attention to. I don't remember another thing she said. And that has never left me. I so deeply honor you. Thank you for being here. Yeah. So what's going to happen now is we're going to do a closing song, and as soon as that song is complete, Eugene will do our closing prayer, and then we will recess out. The closing song, because I really love what this community says, that singing is like praying twice. So this is my prayer. This is my commitment to you. And we can get through this, right?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. Jamie is singing the community's part. I am singing my part. When I forget.
This is the one thing that I know. I know that there is one power, there is one presence, there is one life. And though it may be called by many names, I call it God, I call it love, I call it forth into this conscious awareness, recognizing that no matter where we are, it is. I stand in the awareness that there is no space where God is not, because it is the very nature of this divine to permeate and to penetrate and to fill the inner spaces of the universe, which means that the space between the space within the space is filled with the vibration and the frequency of pure spirit. Oh, but wait, there's more. I know that right where we are, no matter where we are, God is. As I like to say, right here, right now, God is, we are. Woo. So not only is this a celebration of installing my brother, beautiful Reverend Rafe Aston Ellis, and not only installing the community, but not only installing the practitioners, we are also opening up to allow Spirit to install itself in us. So we stand as installed, come on, Spirit, as installed individualized expressions of the one. So that we are here to remind each other. When I forget, you remember. When you forget, I remember. So I know that as Columbia Center for Spiritual Living is born brand new right here, right now, that we go out into the world, not only up-leveled and uplifted, but everybody we meet, everybody that comes to our conscious awareness is uplifted, because right where we are, they are. Right where they are, we are. Ubuntu means that right where I am because you are. So knowing, oh my God, knowing that all is well, I give great thanks. It is from this vibration, this high vibration of love, this high vibration of peace, this high vibration of gratitude that I now release this word. I take my hands off of it, because there's nothing more for us to say but to be in the awareness that this is done. To be the light, to be the love, to be the joy, to be that vehicle through which Spirit, call it whatever you want to call it, is living, moving, and having its being in, through, and as you, which means that we surrender to allow it to do the same. So for this and for so much more than my words can ever convey, I remain forever grateful and thankful, and I release this word into the law and into love, knowing that the law has no other choice. It cannot help itself, y'all. It must take these words and mold them and shape them, design them and create them, and then return them unto us, not void or empty, but absolutely and completely fulfilled, pressed down, shaken together, and overflowingly fulfilled. And so overflowingly fulfilled, we allow it to be. And so it is. Ashe, amen.
Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. Ask me where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lives in my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me. As me, for where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is. Joy is. Oh, God is.
Faith Rivera, wherever I am, God is. Beautiful. This is Ben Dowling, Miles Joseph, Joy, Jukes, ERG, Idris Hester on percussion. Wherever I am, God is.
Where I am,